Sanyati State in Mashonaland West Province braces for a bumper wheat harvest.
And of course, this follows others' wheat production expansion drive in regions that have not been growing the crop in the past.
In regional and international news,
Sudan continues to face its most severe food insecurity as conflict rages on.
and in sport,
Manica Diamonds, Ngezi Platinum through to the Chibuku Super Cup semi-finals.
I am Justin Matlatla. We are joined by Nobo Maungwa at the Sign Language Desk.
And I'm Vicky Maponga. And later on, we will cross over to our Montreux studios. I saw Dora Ngube already on standby there to take us on. Justin, did you actually know that today is International Day of Sign Language, which is celebrated globally?
Indeed, Vicky, and remember that Zimbabwe has also adopted sign language as one of the 16 official languages used in the country.
Which is actually very good. And today I feel like just taking Noble's job for just a minute to show our viewers that I actually know sign language, and Noble himself has been my teacher for almost a year now.
Proceed, Vicky, proceed.
Can you interpret?
I'll try. I will do my best.
Let's do it.
Certainly.
All right.
Good evening. Welcome. How are you? I love you. Wow.
Noble, did we get that right?
I'm sure we did, and we did certainly. Wonderful, Vicky. Wonderful.
Wonderful. You
Wonderful.
saw I can actually do sign language.
And it also goes to show that we are together with our viewers, those who view the news in sign language.
Absolutely. Let's get straight to our first story tonight.
And now to our first story, Zimbabwe has called for collective efforts in upholding the principles of the United Nations Charter, finding lasting solutions to global challenges and sparing multilateralism. This
was said by the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Trade, Ambassador Frederick Shava, who was representing President Emmerson Mnangagwa at the interactive leaders session of the Summit of the Future on the sidelines of the United Nations General Assembly in New York, USA. Our chief correspondent, Ruben Barwe, with our first report tonight.
Zimbabwe's voice is also the voice of the Southern Africa Development Community, SADC, which she chairs, the African Union, and the Voice of the South, to which she is an active member. The interactive dialogue session at the Summit of the Future, being held in New York, on this topic, and I quote, enhancing multilateralism for internal peace and security, end of quote. Reading the President's notes, Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Trade, Dr. Frederick Shava, said current challenges are beyond the capacity of one state or a group of states.
Current global conflicts are stretching our multilateral systems to its limit, with the real possibility of implosion. We have to address the pervasive historical imbalances that continue to shape our international system, from the legacies of colonialism and slavery to the unjust global financial system and outdated peace and security architecture. The Pact for the Future, the Declaration on Future Generations, as well as the Global Digital Compact must enjoin us collectively to address the multifaceted challenges which transcend all our borders.
The President, Comrade Mnangagwa, said the Pact of the Future resonates well with the Zimbabwe's policy of engagement and re-engagement.
A key element of the Pact is the involvement of young people in the shaping of a better tomorrow. In Zimbabwe, we are deliberately facilitating youth participation in decision-making processes so that they can actively contribute to shaping policies that impact their future and that of generations. That our youths are innovative and have the zeal to make a difference. Excellencies, the discourse on the Pact resonates very well with our foreign policy. which is premised on an engagement, re-engagement, and reaffirmation philosophy. This has enabled us to broaden the scope of our diplomatic outreach, thereby cultivating new friendships and partnerships. Zimbabwe is a friend to all and an enemy to none. In conclusion, guided by the above principles, Zimbabwe reaffirms our commitment to contribute to reinvigoration of the multilateral system for sustainable and inclusive socio-economic development.
The young people of Zimbabwe are already playing their part, especially with the introduction of Education 5.0, that has seen young people excelling in various economic and scientific endeavors, creating new products. That is being refined at various institutions of higher learning. Ruben Barwe, ZBC News, New York.
The Agricultural and Rural Development Authority, ADA, is expanding wheat production in regions that have not been growing the crop in the past.
The Sanyati area of Promotional and West Province is a predominantly cotton-growing region, but ADA cleared over 300 hectares of land and produced the wheat, which is now ready for harvesting. During a visit to the Sanyati estate on Saturday, ADA Deputy Board Chairperson Dr. Patience Siwadi said the revival of dormant estates is a top priority towards sustaining the country's wheat self-sufficiency.
Within a matter of months, we had managed to clear 300 hectares for the establishment of wheat. And we did 270 hectares are now in wheat. Yes, this is our first crop. By the way, this is a very first wheat crop in Sanyati.
Meanwhile, the parastatal has partnered with the Zimbabwe Prisons and Correctional Services, ZPCS, to rehabilitate prisoners through imparting farming skills.
If we get some inmates here on a satellite prison here, you find the prisoners, the inmates rather, they will be coming and working here. As they are working, they are also learning. We are capacitating them with the knowledge that by the time they complete their sentence, at least they will have acquired knowledge on farming, that is wheat production.
A thriving seed maize crop at Sanyati Estate highlights ADA's strategy to contribute to the country's seed bank.
ADA invested in a downstream in a seed house as part of its vertical integration to support the programs, the food security programs that we are currently running under the JV, under the estates and the irrigation schemes. So what you're seeing here is a seed crop that has been grown at one of our estates in Sanyati, in Mashonaland West. Our strategy really is to be able to supply enough seed into our programs and also push it into the farmers that we are working with across the country.
This comes 2 weeks after ADA Chief Executive Officer Mr. Tatenda Miko was honored for making a huge impact in safeguarding national food security. He scooped the Africa Food Prize at the Africa Food Systems Conference held in Kigali, Rwanda, as ADA continues to spearhead the transformation of the country's agricultural sector under the Second Republic. Owen Mandova, ZBC News.
The National Prosecuting Authority is putting in place measures to recover illicit funds and assets which are stashed in foreign lands with an estimated value of over 1 billion United States dollars. Theophilus Chuma takes up that report.
According to official figures by the Zimbabwe Anti-Corruption Commission, ZAC, illicit financial flows are bleeding the economy of millions of dollars annually. The anti-corruption watchdog says the economic crime patterns stretch from understating export numbers to hidden offshore accounts by players in the private sector. The National Prosecuting Authority, NPA, is now going after the ill-gotten wealth, hoping to recover the billions stashed in foreign lands.
So far, we've done over 50 mutual legal assistance from so many countries, spanning from the United States of America, UK, South Africa, just to mention but a few. So we are all out to ensure that we recover those properties which have been illegally stashed outside our jurisdictions. And we are also happy because in terms of the United Nations Conventions Against Corruption, those countries are also enjoined to cooperate.
The authority is looking to leverage on the close interagency relations existing in the country and between countries. Zimbabwe has the 2-year presidency of the Asset Recovery Interagency Network of Southern Africa, ARINSA, a regional body tasked to prosecute and recover stolen assets and assets from proceeds of crime. Theophilus Chuma, ZBC News, Harare.
More than 250 exhibitors have registered to participate at the country's premier mining, engineering and transport expo, Mine Entra, set for Bulawayo next month.
Riding on the theme, Unearthing Success, the Mining Value Chains and Industrial Nexus, the 27th edition of the country's premier mining showcase, which is traditionally held in July, will be staged from the 9th to the 11th of next month. A digital-based buyers program has been introduced to enable attendees to pre-select, connect and book meetings with potential partners, clients and industry peers.
In terms of the programming itself, we are also on course. As we have indicated that we want to launch our buyers program. So the digital-based buyers program is now live, so people can start accessing or planning their meetings on that platform that we have, so that we promote this interaction between the buyers and the sellers, the miners, the mining executives, the procurement people, and the suppliers from industry. The idea is really to say, how does the growth of mining also impact the growth of industry?
250 participants, including 19 international exhibitors from 4 countries, namely India, China, Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, and South Africa, have confirmed participation.
We are quite excited with the progress that we've made so far in terms of preparations for Mine Entra. This is despite the fact that we had to shift the platform from July to October. We are sitting at 254 exhibitors who have expressed interest to participate. These include 19 foreign companies that will be participating from South Africa, India, China, and the DRC. So that number, compared to last year where we closed at 12 companies.
The digital-based buyers program will give participants an opportunity to maximize their participation at the Mine Entra through fostering collaboration among key players in the global mining community. Lisa Masuku, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Our next report is from Festus Mukungurutse, who gives us an update on the International Organization for Migration, which has expressed dissatisfaction with Zimbabwe's migration policy.
And this came out during a meeting between IOM Council Chairperson, Her Excellency Dr. Katarina Stash, and the Minister of Public Service, Labour and Social Welfare, Honorable July Moyo, in Harare this Monday.
Chairperson of the International Organization for Migration, IOM Council, Her Excellency Dr. Katarina Stash, who is in the country to assess the migration situation in Zimbabwe, met the Minister of Public Service, Labour and Social Welfare, Honorable July Moyo, in Harare this Monday, where a host of issues, including labour migration, social welfare and migration policies, came under the spotlight.
I'm very honored that I had the time to discuss with Honorable Minister a couple of very important issues, including the challenges of climate change and the challenges that climate change brings for the communities on migration. But we also discussed migration policies, and I learned about the Memorandum of Understanding Zimbabwe has been concluding and is planning to conclude also and to negotiate with other countries. And I want to congratulate Zimbabwe on its policy when it comes to migration and also regular migration, creating opportunities for many.
Minister Moyo highlighted flagship projects that government is working on in collaboration with IOM.
When we were thinking that a lot of our people would return from South Africa, last year we built a reception center together and also how to organize so that you can receive those people and give them psychosocial support, reintegration, orientation. And we are working with IOM in this regard. We don't have enough data about migration. We see the monies that are coming, our remittances are very high right now, but we are not documenting our people who are going outside. There is inward migration, the number of people who are working in companies here in Zimbabwe who are on employment permits. We need that data.
The discussions also explored potential areas of cooperation and strategies for addressing common challenges in the region. Festus Mkongorose, ZBC News, Harare.
The 2024 ZIMSEC Grade 7 examination started this Monday, with the government putting in place all the necessary measures in order to ensure a smooth process. The details.
They say a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and that was the case with grade 7 learners who started writing their examinations this Monday. Their first feel of the national examinations was a confidence booster, with high hopes of success when results come out.
Maths is my favorite subject. I want to succeed and fulfill the 6 units.
The exam was okay. If you I can achieve everything. So I'm grade 7.
I exam singathi victory give fair just kanjalo nje. Nganceda kusasa lami ngibe achieve empilweni ngibe into eziningi ezitholayo.
The Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education has expressed satisfaction with the examination administration process, urging parents to take an active role in the education of their children.
The Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education is very happy with the ZIMSEC Grade 7 examinations that are currently underway. And our ZIMSEC examinations are going to be running up until November, and we're happy with the way they have started today. It is our clarion call as the Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education to encourage parents to maintain open communication with their children and to ensure that they stay informed about what is happening at the school and about the progress of their child, and provide any additional support that the children may need.
According to the ZIMSEC examination timetable, the grade 7 examinations, which started with English Paper 1 this Monday, will run until the 7th of November. Grace Zibanda, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Now, in a related report, the government has issued a stern warning to unregistered schools operating in backyards, saying the law will take its course.
Government's efforts to transform the country's education system, some individuals are not taking the heed of cause to formalize their operations. In an interview with the ZBC News on the sidelines of an event to celebrate the private sector's contribution in the country's education sector at the weekend, the Minister of Primary and Secondary Education, Honorable Tore Raimoyo, spoke on the need for these institutions to abide by the law.
We want to commend our president, who has also allowed private players, individuals, corporates, everyone through public-private partnership to provide the best education in Zimbabwe. And my message to those who want to introduce private colleges, we want them to regularize the operations. They need to register with the ministry. We are the regulators, so that they are going to respect the laws of the country. Those who are not registered, they should stay away.
The engagement brought together delegates from various sectors, including government, the academia and business, who pledged to work together with the government to close gaps in the education sector.
We are partnering with government in the building of an edifice we call a proper education management system. As we have realized that there are nearly shortage of 2,800 schools in Zimbabwe, we as private independent colleges, we are trying by all means to reduce the gap such that education system will improve.
We are in line with our presidential agenda that we should leave no one and no stone unturned By this, we are promoting inclusive education.
We can provide land in the new suburbs where people can build schools. So we are willing to partner with the government, with the public sector, with the private sector on giving them areas and sites where they can set up schools. Suburbs like Harare South, which are fairly new, the extensions that are fairly new, and also other suburbs that require secondary schools. So we are going to be looking into partnership and how we can accelerate the building of schools.
The event saw students and teachers who excelled in various fields being awarded. Government is rolling out several initiatives to transform the country's education sector, including construction of new schools and upgrading existing infrastructure. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
The United States of America has pledged its continued support to Zimbabwe as the Second Republic's engagement and re-engagement drive pays off.
Now, this came out when the U.S. Ambassador to Zimbabwe, Excellency Mary Tremont, paid a courtesy call on the Speaker of the National Assembly, Advocate Jacob Mudenda, at the new Parliament building this Monday. The details.
Briefing the media after her meeting with Advocate Mudenda, the U.S. top envoy to Zimbabwe, Her Excellency Tremont, said her country will continue to work with Zimbabwe in various areas of cooperation.
We had a very engaging conversation about the U.S. commitment to the Zimbabwean people since independence and all the activities that we do here in Zimbabwe to further the relationship. We talked about improving the relationship in any way that we can and the role of Parliament in ensuring there are strong democratic institutions, including transparency and oversight, in strengthening those democratic institutions and taking forward Zimbabwe's democratic trajectory.
Zimbabwe and the United States are on a path to mend relations through the engagement and re-engagement agenda. Fungai Jachi, ZBC News, Mount Hampton.
And in a breakthrough for women's health, 15 women from Chinhoyi and surrounding areas have successfully undergone surgeries to correct childbirth injuries at Chinhoyi Provincial Hospital.
The initiative is part of government's ongoing efforts to address sanitary health challenges faced by women. The surgeries were made possible through an outreach program implemented by government and its partners, including the United Nations Population Fund, UNFPA. Nombelo Siambare, a 32-year-old resident of Bulawayo, is one of the beneficiaries.
Pandakazvidiscover ndikapinza ruoko chigunwe changu nekumberi chaibuda nekumasure. So pandakamutsanangurira zvaitika ndobva andipa aninyorera mishonga yavakandinyorera yekuti ndimwe kubvisa urwa uya. Saka ndopandakaita right ndobva andinyorera anditi ozodzoka kureview after 2 weeks vandadzokera still pari zvinhu zvangu zvaingoitika ndobva andipa 3 months kuti mozodzoka after 3 months toona kuti panenge pavharika here still pakavhara pamusoro but nechemukati pasina kuvhara. So tsvina iya yaingolika ichibuda. Saka ndakazoona advert last week paWhatsApp ndakangotumirwawo navamwene wangu vachiti mazviona here izvozvo chigofonai munzoti ndezvechokwadi here.
Siambare's struggles mirrored those of Nomsa, not a real name, who endured 3 years of pain, discrimination and shame.
Ndaitoshaya neanokwanisa kundigadzira wachona. Ndaishaya mari yekubhadhara zvinodiwa zvachona. Saka ndakabva ndagara ndakadaro kudzamara ndapindawo paWhatsApp group remadzimai rinotaurwawo nezvemadzimai, zveutano hwemadzimai. Ndopa ndakaona program yeVVF yaitaurwa kunzi pane vanhu vari kubatsira vanhu vane maproblems aya. Ndibva ndatofara pandakaona program, pandakaona chiflyer ichocho. Ndibva ndafona kuti papatone toll free number. Ndatofona toll free number inge ndakatofara because message ndakaiona kuma past 9 usiku, but ndakatofona ndikatopindurwa zvakanaka. ma9 ikoko ndatombozeza ndichiti time dzine dzaenda.
Chinoi Provincial Hospital's Sister Charity Matambo highlighted the program's success since its launch in 2015.
So from 2020, we started this September, but with only 15 women. And most of these women from 2015 up to 2019 were very successful, and they are now back to their normal life.
Obstetric fistula is a serious medical condition which results in unintended leakages of bodily fluids. The condition often arises from complications during childbirth, particularly in instances where women give birth at home without access to proper medical care and check-ups. Chamuka Charakupa, ZBC News, Chinoi.
A breakthrough worth celebrating indeed. Now for these and other stories, do check our website at www.zbcnews.co.zw. Also check our social media handles on X, on Facebook, on YouTube, on TikTok, Instagram, as well as on our WhatsApp channel. We are at ZBC News Online.
Here's a look now at stories you may expect after this break. In regional and international news, Sudan continues to face its most severe food insecurity as conflict rages on. And in sport, Manika Diamonds, Ngezi Platinum through to the Chibuku Super Cup semi-finals. Stay tuned for these and more stories coming up after this break. Don't go far.
Zimbabwe's mining legacy is a story etched deep in our soil. It's a tale of hard work, resilience, and human ingenuity in unearthing riches and building a nation. This commitment to progress continues as mining industry players continue to unlock the vast potential of our mineral reserves, driving economic transformation through innovation, mineral beneficiation, and value addition. Are you ready to be part of the next chapter? Explore cutting-edge advancements and discover endless opportunities in Zimbabwe's expanding mining value chains at the 27th edition of Mine Entra, taking place from the 9th to the 11th of October 2024 at the Zimbabwe International Exhibition Center in Bulawayo. Register via our website www.zitf.co.zw. Mine Entra 2024, unearthing success, the mining value chains, innovation and industrialization nexus.
If you drink, be responsible.
Following the launch of the nationwide vetting program for veterans of the liberation struggle in 2021 by His Excellency the President, Comrade Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, and the subsequent vetting in 2022, the Ministry of Veterans of the Liberation Struggle Affairs announces the mop-up vetting exercise for non-combatant cadres and war collaborators. This crucial exercise, which is scheduled to run from 25 September to 4 October 2024, is targeting individuals who did not get the chance in 2022. The final mop-up vetting exercise will be conducted as follows. For war collaborators, vetting will be conducted in the areas where you operated from during the Liberation War. The vetting teams will comprise wartime commanders and the war veterans you operated with. The teams will move around the areas you operated from according to schedules that they will communicate on deployment. For non-combatant cadres, vetting will be conducted in the capitals of the 10 administrative provinces. Choose the nearest provincial capital to you and present yourself for vetting. Representatives of wartime transit camps which were situated in Botswana, Mozambique and Zambia will be available to vet you. Camps in Mozambique include Chibawawa, Doroi, Mavudzi, and Nyadzonya. Camps in Zambia include Jason Ziapapa, Maheba, Nampundu, Solwezi, Victory, and Chisamba. Camps in Botswana include Dukwe, Francistown, Selibe Pikwe, and Broadhurst. Vetting centers for non-combatant cadres are as follows: Harare, Zimbabwe Ho Highfields, Bulawayo, ZITF Grounds, Hillside Road, Manicaland, Chiefs Hall, Sakuva Grounds, Mutare, Midlands, Gweru Theatre City Council Building, Mashonaland West, Public Service Training Center, Chinhoi, Mashonaland Central, Bindura Showgrounds, Mashonaland East, Buyane Hall, Lombotombo, Marondera, Matebeleland North, Lupane Business Center, Matebeleland South, Agricultural Showgrounds, Gwanda, Mashingo, Mucheke Hall. Please bring your national identity document or a valid passport together with a clearly visible photocopy of the identity document. If you belong to these two categories and you are not yet vetted, don't miss this opportunity to validate your credentials and receive the deserved recognition for your role in the liberation struggle. For more information, please contact the district and provincial offices of the Ministry of Veterans of the Liberation Struggle Affairs nearest to you. You can also contact the ministry's head office on 0242-710324 or 710251 or 710553 or 710378 or 710268 or 710463.
Well, it's good to know you're still watching, and for those who have just joined us, this is the main news. The mop-up vetting exercise for non-combatants and war collaborators will be held from the 25th of this month to the 4th of October.
Cabinet has approved the Ministry of Veterans of the Liberation Struggle Affairs nationwide vetting program to ascertain credentials of members and to ensure that bona fide veterans of the liberation struggle are accurately recognized for their contributions. The Minister of Veterans of the Liberation Struggle Affairs, Senator Monica Mavunga, briefed the media in Harare this Monday on the modalities.
This mop-up vetting exercise is a crucial initiative which is scheduled to run from 25 September to 4 October 2024, targeting individuals who did not get the chance in 2022.
She also clarified the steps and requirements for membership.
The vetting centers will differ according to categories. For all collaborators, vetting centers for all collaborators will be in the areas where they operated from during the Liberation War. This means that those who have relocated are required to return to these wartime areas for the exercise. Vetting will be done by commanders and war veterans who operated together with the war collaborators. Locals familiar with the activities of war collaborators will also assist the vetting teams. The vetting period is 10 days, and vetting teams will move from area to area according to the schedules which vetting teams will communicate on deployment. For non-combatant cadres, vetting will be conducted in the provincial capitals of the 10 administrative provinces. The selected vetting centers have already and will continue to be published in the print and electronic media. Please note that all applicants, non-combatant cadres and war collaborators are required to bring original identity documents or valid passports together with legible copies of the same documents.
The program was launched by President Emmerson Mnangagwa in June 2021 to take stock of the members that contributed to the liberation of the country. Bruce Shawanda, SABC News, Harare.
We're now crossing over to our Montrose studios. Dora, good evening.
Good to see you, Vicky. A lovely evening to you and Justin, and many thanks for taking us on. We continue with the main news. The Zimbabwe Defence Forces Health Services Conference is underway in Victoria Falls with a call for robust action to tackle HIV and AIDS, as well as drug and substance abuse.
The 11th edition of the Zimbabwe Defence Forces Health Services Conference has noted the challenges posed by HIV and AIDS as well as drug and substance abuse. Officially opening the conference in Victoria Falls, Zimbabwe Defence Forces Commander General Philip Valerio Svanda called for a more holistic approach.
Zimbabwe, along with sister nations within the SADC region, has witnessed devastating impacts of the HIV/AIDS pandemic. This, coupled with the escalating trends of drug and substance misuse, is creating a dangerous health cocktail. Current statistics reveal uncomfortable prevalence rates necessitating urgent, concerted, multifaceted approaches encompassing education, prevention, treatment, and rehabilitation where possible. Our experience gained from this process shows the need for a holistic support system ranging from family, institutional, and community in order to ensure sustainable outcomes.
The theme of this year's conference, Vision 2030, HIV, AIDS and substance drug abuse must fall, underscores the call to action in tackling the health challenges and social ills. Mhlomuli Ncube, ZBC News, Victoria Falls.
Government plans to establish a submersible water pumping system along the Tuli and Shasha rivers to build resilience against the effects of climate change.
There is consensus among livestock farmers in Gwanda South that the distance traveled by cattle in search of water and pasture land is the main driver of livestock deaths. It is with this challenge in mind that submersible water pumps will be established in Shashe and Tuli to pump water inland.
Nka o bona noka isina metsi ja crosser ja khumana metsi ko ali sata ke yo bona ali sata mapochazi what li dau li phiri li abulayana ko.
The Veterinary Services Department and government development partners are working on establishing 15 water points along the rivers that will pump water to irrigate the 20 hectares of fodder at Sebasa irrigation scheme and other small schemes around Patana area.
We agreed that we are going to create a green belt that moves, across the river, so that when our animals come for water, they also get some food.
Deputy Minister of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural Development, Honorable Davis Marapira, who was on an assessment tour of the project in Gwanda this weekend, said the project needs to be completed and replicated along the 800-kilometer stretch from Bulilima to Beitbridge to create a green belt.
We can dot a lot of solar panels along the river to pick water right inland, using it to irrigate pastures, because this area is seriously affected by drought, year in, year out. So we can create a green belt of pastures for our animals. Not only that, as we move 30 kilometers inland, there's flat land, which we can actually utilize to grow other crops.
Government is taking an active role to provide safety nets for urban and rural families affected by the El Nino-induced drought. Providence Maranelli, ZBC News, Gwanda.
Communities living on the fringes of Wanga National Park are playing a vital role in preserving the area's rich biodiversity. The details.
Human-wildlife conflict, poaching and climate change pose a significant threat to Wanga National Park's ecological integrity. In recent years, there's been growing recognition of the importance of community involvement in conservation efforts, with Sidinda Community-Based Conservancy in Wange serving as a prime example of the positive impact of community involvement.
This conservancy is purely owned by the communities, and also you've got a safari operator that is also in charge of the day-to-day running of the conservancy. the communities are going to see a lot of benefits relating to non-consumptive as well as consumptive tourism happening from this particular sphere. So hence, communities are at the core of conservation. Communities should also get a lot of dividends.
Organizations like the International Fund for Animal Welfare have also played a pivotal role in fostering community involvement in biodiversity conservation at Hwange National Park.
Any conservation efforts, any interventions that ignores the needs and the aspirations of our communities is destined to fail. So what we're doing together with ZIMPAX, we are collaborating with our communities to develop interventions aimed at improving the lives and livelihoods of people coexisting with wildlife, particularly around Hwange National Park.
Tourism operators in the province also emphasize the importance of educating young people about conservation.
We teach them conservation from that age, where we feel that they are the ones that we've got to teach for the future if we're going to become one of the top, which we are. Zimbabwe is one of the top tourist centers in Africa today.
As Hwange continues to face various conservation challenges, the active involvement of communities is proving to be essential for the long-term preservation of its biodiversity. Yolanda Moy, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
The ZANU PF Matabeleland North Province Inter-District meeting has exhorted party members to work in unison for victory in the upcoming Binga North Council by-election.
Rallying party members during the inter-district meeting held in Lubane this Sunday, ZANU PF Matabeleland North Provincial Chairperson Comrade Richard Moyo called for unity of purpose as the party eyes victory in the Binga Council by-election.
Abanye bavala ukuthi lingabuyi vele laliyenga angithi selifuna uzosithathela izikhundla hayi ukuze siwine ukuthi abantu labana babengekho behlamukile bebuye kithi sibemukela ngithi so sikhangelela ukuthi Binga leadership asibambaneni for that purpose ukuze sechaya intambo sithathe iward le lamanye ama leaders lami zabuya sizoncedisana lamanye ama central committee elikwanisayo ambane singathi hayi iward into encane.
The by-election will be held in Ward 7 on the 5th of October. Mshomoli Ncube, ZBC News, Lubane.
And that's it from myself, Durang Ncube, and the Montrose News team. We now take you back to Justin and Vicky for more news. It's back to you.
Many thanks, Dora. We certainly hope to catch up with you tomorrow. Thanks for that update. Now, the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services says it will find ways to assist the Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation to resolve issues surrounding legacy debts and procurement challenges.
Officials from the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe, RBZ, and the Procurement Regulatory Authority of Zimbabwe, PRAZ, this Monday appeared before the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services, where they gave oral evidence concerning issues raised by the national broadcaster on legacy debts and challenges in procuring equipment. Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe Governor Dr. John Mushayavanu took the opportunity to clarify that ZBC does not have a debt with RBZ.
ZBC haina chikwere ku Reserve Bank. Havana kana sendera vane chikwere. Asi vane zvinhu zvavasati vaakuita. Saka kana zvinoita system yacho kana usinoita njausina wakuita paunenge wakubhadhara inokucharge 1%.
Chairperson of the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee, Honorable Caston Mateo, said they want to find ways of helping ZBC.
What we are trying to do is to ensure that we resolve the issues around ZBC and that they are not, because if you're saying 1%, it means if they own 982,000, that's about 9,800 that they are penalized each time they try to buy something. Yet it's our national broadcaster. So those are the issues that we are trying to resolve so that they don't have to pay that penalty when they procure. But obviously the law must be followed. And I can assure you that this committee will follow up on the list that you have gave us to ensure that those things we actually are procured at the time.
The national broadcaster wants to purchase new equipment to produce quality content and improve its programming. Fungai Jachi, ZBC News, Mount Hampton.
And of course, that quality programming also includes quality news products. Now, the ruling ZANU PF party and government officials are strengthening collaborations to give impetus to the current economic development trajectory and quicken the attainment of Vision 2030.
The special ZANU PF Provincial Coordinating Committee PCC meeting held in Mutare this Monday was also attended by senior government officials who emphasized the need for the ruling party and government officials to increase cooperation to quicken the implementation of development strategies to attain Vision 2030.
The government is an implementing arm of party policies. That has to be very clear. In other words, the government is a product of the party and is given work to do by the party. As a ministry, we are there to act as a link between the party and the government. This way, we ensure that party manifesto, as well as conference and complex resolutions, are implemented. Previously, we could come up with the resolutions, we could come up with the policies, and there was no follow-up on whether somebody implemented or it could gather dust in the shelf. But now we've been ordered and the president would no resolution. If the resolution is not going to implement, then we have to give a report on Chichakaita Uji. Decide to implement.
The Manicaland provincial leadership acknowledged the importance of working together to achieve accelerated development, highlighting that a number of developmental works are being implemented in the province.
Takabatana government department musangano inyaya yekuti isusangano weZANU PF negovernment tiziyane kuti kwendei.
Guest of honor, I am excited to advise that cases of the Second Republic, Manicaland Province, continues to register remarkable progress on the development front across all sectors. Devolution. Since the coming in of the Second Republic, devolution funds have been instrumental in enhancing service delivery throughout our province. To date, a total of 231 projects have been completed, covering a diverse range of sectors as follows. Roads, we have 65 projects. Water, sanitation and hygiene, we have 23 projects. Health, 46 projects. Education, 34 projects. Social amenities, 45 projects. Energy, 7 projects. In addition to the completed projects as highlighted above, several other projects are currently at different stages of completion across the province.
Manicaland province is recording increased investment inflows with new companies being started. Progress is also being recorded in the area of mining, tourism and agriculture, with 4 large irrigation schemes waiting to be commissioned. Kenya's Chivuje, ZBC News, Mutare.
KidsCan Zimbabwe has joined forces with the Apostolic Church's Council of Zimbabwe in order to tackle childhood cancers.
Well, the partnership, Vicky, is meant to raise awareness, improve detection, and increase the survival rate among children diagnosed with cancer.
The Apostolic Council of Churches in Zimbabwe, ACCZ, comprising 60 apostolic sects from across the country, is generally challenging to engage due to its strong religious and health convictions. KidsCan Zimbabwe's efforts have, however, led to a Memorandum of Understanding signed in May 2024, paving the way for collaboration in the fight against childhood cancer.
This is to partner together to say, yes, we as a church want to play a part. And we as KidsCan were saying to them, you are respected church community leaders. You have a part to play. People come to you first. If we look at our stats in Zimbabwe, almost 60% are seeking alternative treatment, either going to a traditional healer or to a faith healer.
The partnership is already bearing fruit, with the ACCZ electing 10 childhood cancer coordinators to represent each province.
mwana ari kurwara anogona kurwara nekensa isitongozvitora kuti imwe yaitsvina. Saka apa tiri kuedza kuti tibatane health nereligion.
Ngabona kimi kuqakathekile ukuthi mbuye emelele labantwana ngifunde ngizuze ulwazi olokuthi khona umntwana nxa ebanjwa icancer endaweni yakithi ngikwanisa ukuthi ngimhambise ngaphi lapho kufanele khona ukuthi ayelatshwe khona.
Pampacho unongochungonza kuti cancer pamwe uchitoona mwana achirwara kutotadza you know the doctrine yechipostori pamongoti ironda aroiwa but kids kenekea kuzoti parizo kuti raronda iri harisi ronda ngariende kuchipatara rinotestwa inenge saka ndonatso kuti kids ken yakauya kuzobatsira and to transform the church.
Through leveraging on the influential role of religious leaders, KidsCan Zimbabwe aims to promote health awareness and community engagement, ultimately saving lives. Abigail Tembo, ZBC News, Harare.
We'll now take a look at what's happening beyond our country's borders, where Sudan continues to face the most severe food insecurity as conflict rages on.
14 Sudanese regions are at risk of famine as the armed conflict that erupted in April last year rages on, leading to a continuous deterioration of food security. United Nations UN Resident and Humanitarian Coordinator for Sudan, Clementine Nkweta Salami, has disclosed more than half of Sudan's population is facing severe food insecurity. Reports say since the beginning of the year, the armed conflict in Sudan has further spread to the country's central and southeastern food production areas, with most agricultural workers fleeing their homes, resulting in a decrease in farmland cultivation rates and grain yields, as well as rising food prices. The conflict between the Sudanese armed forces and the Paramilitary Rapid Support Forces has resulted in over 16,000 deaths, while several millions have been displaced.
While we take a break, we'll be back with the arts.
Stuck on you. Ooh, obsessed with you. I'm obsessed.
With Showmax, your favorite characters now follow you anywhere. Download it today and watch the best in local, international, and everything in between.
When I started out, life was tough. The borehole was far from our home, but we had no other choice. Although it was hard, I learned I was not alone. The other women supported me. They helped make the burden a little lighter. But I was determined to build a better life for my family. I started my own small business. We moved to a better house, and slowly, very slowly, life got better. Today, my business is thriving, and I'm able to provide for my family. What we experienced made us who we are today, and I'm grateful for the friends who are there for me. After all, we all need a friend. Zimgold, your trusted friend.
Say hello to seamless transactions and effortless convenience with the new Inbox Swipe card. Swipe, tap, pay and go with confidence anywhere in Zimbabwe. Sign up for your Inbox Swipe card at any Inbox booth nationwide today. Have you registered for Inbucks yet? If not, dial star 569 hash or download the Inbucks app and redefine the way you bank. Terms and conditions apply.
A rising jazz artist from Mutare, Allen Kapswara, popularly known as Keple, has taken the music industry by storm after releasing a song focusing on the importance of faithfulness in relationships. Look at the ads.
In a world where divorces have become the order of the day, while adultery and domestic violence are threatening to rip the social fabric apart, upcoming jazz musician Allen Kapswara from Mutare has become the voice of the voiceless. In a song aptly titled Tendeka, Kapswara implores couples to respect the sanctity of marriage. The 22-year-old graduate from Great Zimbabwe University spoke on his latest offering after enlisting the services of veteran musician Clive Monomkondo.
The song actually Tendeka iri kuudzwa mukadzi murume ari kuudza mukadzi kuti ona uchida kuti marriage yedu isimbe. Honesty ndo yakakosha marriage, but mukadziwo ane zvanenge achiudzawo murume achiti yes, you're the father of the house, you're the man of the house, but it doesn't give you the permission yekuti uite gender-based violence. Haisi kungonanga kuvarume chete, even kuvakadzi kuchiwanika. So ndakataura the main points dzinonyanya kuaffecta a marriage, zvinozoita futi kuti marriage izoparare nezvatinokwanisa kuita kuti marriage isaparare.
The talented artist reveals that his inspiration comes from the late music icon Dr. Oliver Mtukudzi.
Ndiri kumasvingo ndope ndakaona Oliver Mtukudzi was performing Caravan hit kama ina Winged. This is good, man. I heard him playing. We had a good time and I was like, no, izvinhu zvakadai izvi ndo zvinhu zvakanaka. Ndikatoroka gitari ndikatanga kudzidzira. So then ndope ndakatanga kudzidzira acoustic guitar. Then ndatango dzidzira acoustic. The main mission was kuti let me just do my cover aingoitwa na Dr. Oliver Mtukudzi. But at a later stage ndichinopedza kuchikoro, because I graduated 2022, I realized kuti lyrical content inogona kunga iripo. Then I said let me try some of my own.
Kepo is determined to add his name on the list of revered Zimbabwean jazz musicians such as Oliver Mtukudzi, Prudence Katomeni Mbofana, Ernest Tanga Wekwasando, August Msarugwa and Prince Msarugwa. Kenya's Chivuje, ZBC News.
Well, Justin, I would rather talk about faithfulness between the fans and their music stars, not faithfulness in relationships. That's a story for another day. Don't comment. It's a story for another day. We'll hear Anna share what she has for us in sports after this break. Stay tuned.
This is Africa. And here, we're always on the go. Whoa. There you go. Très bien.
So when you're ready to go, let's go! Let's go, Africa!
Short on the line.
He took my fish.
You guys, did you see that? I just was like, what?
I really want you to find someone nice who would mean the world to you and make you so happy.
Bernardo Silva, Stones, Foden, a little bit of time. Oh, what a shot! What a goal! What a player!
Say hello to seamless transactions and effortless convenience with the new Inbox Swipe card. Swipe, tap, pay and go with confidence anywhere in Zimbabwe. Sign up for your Inbox Swipe card at any Inbox booth nationwide today. Have you registered for Inbox yet? If not, dial *569# or download the Inbox app and redefine the way you bank. Terms and conditions apply.
When I started out, life was tough. The borehole was far from our home, but we had no other choice. Although it was hard, I learned I was not alone. The other women supported me. They helped make the burden a little lighter. But I was determined to build a better life for my family. I started my own small business. We moved to a better house, and slowly, very slowly, life got better. Today, my business is thriving, and I'm able to provide for my family. What we experienced made us who we are today, and I'm grateful for the friends who are there for me. After all, we all need a friend. Zimgold, your trusted friend.
Welcome to the Sports Corner. Anasha Mrombezi here with the latest in the world of sport. Now, being a Monday, we do a weekend review. Chibuku Super Cup quarterfinals took center stage at the weekend with the Manika Diamonds and Ngeze Platinum Stars advancing to the semi-finals.
Riding on home advantage at Baobab Stadium, Ngeze Platinum Stars stunned Giants Caps United, winning 4-3 on penalties after a 1-1 stalemate. Manika Diamonds also performed a giant killing act when they beat FC Platinum 1-0 at Sakuva Stadium. It is the first time Manika Diamonds have reached the semi-finals and leaves the door open for them to claim their first top flight league honours. After what looked like a perfect Saturday, violence reared its ugly head as the other quarter-final between Simba Bora and Highlanders was abandoned after a controversial penalty was awarded to the hosts at Wadzanai Stadium in Shamva on Sunday. The game was abandoned after 79 minutes as Highlanders players took matters into their own hands and refused to proceed with the match. The fate of the match is now set to be settled via the boardroom. Meanwhile, defending champions Dynamos are in soul-searching mode after being eliminated from the CAF Confederation Cup. Dynamos have another chance to aim for continental football as they face Yada in the rescheduled quarterfinal encounter. The winner will face Manika Diamonds in the semi-finals.
Now, Jabungu Queens have something to smile about the season after clinching the inaugural Heart Women Super League at the weekend.
The 5-day tournament featuring 16 teams was a showcase of women's football excellence, with Chapungu Queens emerging victorious. Black Rhinos, Correctional Queens, Herentals and Harare City fell by the wayside, paving the way for Chapungu's historic triumph. The grand finale was witnessed by a huge crowd packed at the Heart Stadium in Harare. Chapungu Queens dominated proceedings, securing a convincing 4-0 victory over Black Mambas. Earlier, Herentals Queens clinched the bronze medal with a hard-fought 1-0 win over Harare City Queens in the third-place playoff. Chapungu Queens took home the prestigious trophy, medals, and a substantial cash prize of 10,000 United States dollars. Runners-up Black Rhinos received 5,000 United States dollars, while bronze medalists Herentals Queens pocketed 3,000 United States dollars. The league table, however, tells a different story, with Chapungu in third place behind defending champions Herentals and Black Rhinos.
Now away from the weekend recap, it is action galore at Queen's Sports Club in Bulawayo, where host Zimbabwe are taking on South Africa's under-19 cricket team in a 5-match one-day international series. Now, despite trailing 2-0 in the series, Zimbabwe are not giving up yet.
Queen's Sports Club roared to life on Friday as Zimbabwe and South Africa square off in the ultimate showdown of who will emerge kings of the ball and bat by the end of the 5-match series, which ends on the 29th of this month. The series is also part of the 2026 Under-19 World Cup qualifiers. South Africa have taken a 2-0 lead in the series, having won by 8 wickets on Friday before another convincing 120-run victory this Sunday. Zimbabwe are, however, not giving up yet, with the next match set for this Wednesday.
It's a good competition which is helping us improve as well, to see what quality is out there and what we have to face in the future.
We started off on a bad note, but right now I think we're getting there. This is a good platform to practice on. We got a lot of good players who are trying to get that exposure and experience.
Our guys are regrouping and for the first time. And obviously we had a lot of nerves in terms of we're playing South Africa, but it's a 5-day series. So today was a little bit tricky. But going forward, I think it's good for the guys.
South African side, who are leading 2-0, are equally confident they will emerge victorious.
We know we're only halfway there in terms of the performance, but coming through from South Africa and only having a few days of preparation, they've done reasonably well.
With 3 more games to go, the teams have an invaluable opportunity to qualify for the 2026 Under-19 Cricket World Cup, which will be co-hosted by Zimbabwe and Namibia. Grace Sibanda, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Now, to conclude sport, the Zimbabwe Under-19 Women's National Cricket team suffered a heartbreaking 1-wicket defeat to Nigeria in the second match of the ICC Under-19 T20 World Cup qualifier in Kigali, Rwanda.
Seven wickets in 19 overs. Beloved Biza top scored for Zimbabwe with 33 runs, while Christina Mutasa contributed 10. In response, Nigeria had to dig deep as they reached the target of 78 runs after losing 9 wickets in 20 overs. Zimbabwe's Runyararo Pasipanojga and Christina Mutasa with 2 wickets each put Nigeria in a spot of bother, but they still held on to win by a wicket off the final ball. The nail-biting finish set the tone for an intense competition with 7 African nations, including Rwanda, Tanzania, Uganda, Kenya, Malawi, Nigeria and Zimbabwe vying for the sole automatic qualification slot. Zimbabwe, grouped with Tanzania, Nigeria and Malawi in Group B, will seek redemption in their next match against Tanzania on Wednesday.
That's it from the Sports Corner. Weather report and focus is up next.
Good evening and welcome. It is time for your evening weather report in focus. My name is Benjamin Kwaramba. Well, remnant moisture resulted on partly cloudy to cloudy conditions with patchy drizzle in places over the southeastern parts of the country, where Chipinge had 7 millimeters, Chisengo with 12, and Buffalo Range had 4 millimeters as at 8 o'clock this morning, while the remainder of the country was mostly under clear skies. Now, in the satellite images received this afternoon, they show cloud that covered the northeastern parts of the country as well as the eastern border there, while the remainder of the country was largely under clear skies. And we expect towards this evening into tomorrow to have cloud, especially over the southeastern parts of the country, which would give cloudy conditions and windy spells here and there. Otherwise, the remainder of the week should be under clear skies. Now, for the minimum temperatures expected tomorrow in the morning, Harare should have a minimum of 11, the same for Masvingo and Mutare, 17 for Victoria Falls, Kariba 19, Bulawayo 11, Chireze 14, Lupane 15, and Gokwe 13 degrees Celsius. For the maximum temperatures over the Zambezi Valley, 33 for Victoria Falls, as well as Kariba. Rather there with 27, Bulawayo 29, 28 for Chirezi, Mutare with 26, Lupane 32, and Gwanda with 28 degrees Celsius. Now, for the detailed weather forecast expected in the coming week. Mostly clear skies over Bulawayo expected. Plaindale sunshine expected over Chinoi. Again, mostly clear skies over Gwanda. Mostly clear skies over Gweru with windy conditions expected on Monday. Sunny conditions should prevail over Harare. Again, for Kadama, clear skies expected throughout the week. The same for Kariba. Maximum of 39 expected on Saturday and Sunday. Clear skies expected over Lupane. Maximum temperatures 39 on Friday and Saturday. Clear skies again over Kwekwe, plenty of sunshine there. Masvingo again, clear skies expected, windy conditions to set in on Monday. Machopos again, clear skies are expected with windy conditions on Saturday and Monday. Nyanga again, clear skies. Plenty of sunshine over the Victoria Falls area. The maximum Saturday 40 and 41 on Sunday. Well, that does it in tonight's edition of the weather report and forecast. Let's make a date again tomorrow at the same time. Good evening, Zimbabwe.
Well, we want to say thank you so much. We end it here, and we want to appreciate you for having been part of this broadcast. We also want to say a shout out to our man Nobo Maungwa at the sign language desk and all our sign language interpreters for making sure that the news gets to everyone, especially our sign language viewers, leaving no one and no place behind.
And this is how we are going to end it tonight. Thank you for having joined us. See you tomorrow.
We'll do this again tomorrow. Bye-bye.